Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be answering questions that you guys have asked me through Instagram. I ended up getting kind of an abundance of questions, which I didn't think I was going to. So I just figured I'd put it all in one video so I can answer all your guys' questions. So if you guys hear the AC in the background or any outside noise, obviously I don't have control over that. The AC I do, but it's too hot. So I'm just roll with it. I'll speak up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and stay tuned for more videos. Let's just hop right into today's video. So question number one, and the question that I got asked the most was, do we have names for our baby boy? Now, you guys may or may not believe me. I'm being 100% honest with you guys. We honestly don't. When I first found out that I was pregnant and I was going through all my symptoms and everything, I truly thought I was having a girl, so I honestly came up with no boy names. He kind of had some in mind, but we never really found the one, I guess you could say. We both haven't really agreed on one yet. And if you don't know, we do have the same last name, so it kind of works out perfectly. So definitely the baby's last name will be Hernandez as well, of course. But when it comes to anything as in regards to his first name or his middle name, we honestly don't have anything for the baby yet. Now, the next question I got asked a few times too is, was it expected? You know, being pregnant at 21 isn't the worst thing in the world. There's definitely a lot worse things in life that can happen, and you know, this is honestly a blessing at the end of the day. But to answer your question, no, it was not expected, but it is a blessing. So the next question is, how did you guys find out? Finding out was a story in itself. So I can tell you guys the exact day that I found out, which was January 25th. Now, a week prior, my boyfriend was throwing up. He was kind of feeling sick. So a week later, which was the week that I found out, I just thought that I was getting sick. I thought that I was just throwing up and not feeling good because that's what he felt a week ago. So I thought, oh, whatever he had, I started to get because we lived together. So I just thought his sickness was pretty much rubbing off on me. I honestly was not thinking like, oh, I might be pregnant. I might, whatever. I'm just thinking that I'm sick. So later on that day before I went to work, we were driving around. We were about to get lunch so I could have something to eat before work. And he offers Chipotle. I didn't tell him at the time. Obviously he knows now, but I threw up in my mouth when he said, let's get Chipotle. Mind you, a week beforehand, we ate Chipotle and I was perfectly fine. So it was a little weird to throw up in my mouth, which is gross too, once he offered, you know, Chipotle. So me feeling sick, all I wanted was an empanada and pan de bono. That's all I wanted. So he went to go get that for me. And as I'm driving to work, even eating the empanada was like, oh, I could, like, it wasn't sitting right with me. As I get closer to work, I'm like, I should probably pick up a pregnancy test before I get to work. But then I psyched myself out and I was like, there's no way, girl, you're good. Like, you don't need one. Again, me just psyching myself out. I didn't get it before work. I got to work. After an hour of sitting there, things were getting kind of slow and my mind was going. I was just like, you know what? Let me just take my 15 and go buy this test really quick because there's a Walgreens right down the street, so I might as well. What's the worst that can happen? Mind you, I was gonna take that test at Walgreens, but I was thinking, what if the odd chance that it is positive and I have like a whole panic attack in Walgreens? What the fuck do I do then? Since I thought I wasn't pregnant, I bought one of the Walgreens, like, you know, boo-boo off-brands, whatever you call them. And it was like $8 or something like that. So I buy it, I go back to my job, and I take the test at my job because I had no patience to wait a whole 8-hour shift to go home and take it with him. So I take my pregnancy test at my job in the little stall bathroom. And mind you, I got the Walgreens brand. So I obviously peed on it, flipped it upside down, put a napkin over it, went to wash my hands, and in the middle of me washing my hands, I was like, yo, I can't wait. Like, I just need to know. So I stop washing my hands, walk over to my test, flip it over, and I see 2 lines. Now, again, keeping in mind, I bought the Walgreens brand. So I'm trying to convince myself that 2 lines means that it's negative because it's the Walgreens brand. And only the real brands means 2 lines is positive. So I'm just staring at this test for a solid 5 minutes. My 15 has already passed by now, in case you didn't know. And I'm just staring at this test like, I know that 2 lines means positive, but this is the Walgreens brand, this is the off brand, so that means this is negative. I even grabbed the manual, or whatever you want to call it, the instructions on how to take the pregnancy test, and I'm just staring at it and I'm like, 2 lines positive, 1 line negative. So why am I seeing 2 lines? And I started processing. Another 5 minutes go by and I'm like, yo, I need to go back. I'm at work right now. And then it hits me. Like, bitch, you saw 2 lines for a reason because you're pregnant. Shout out to my coach though for being so cool, because he helped me and kind of talked me to calm down. And I was gonna text my boyfriend telling him, but that's not something you text somebody. So I got off of work and I drove home. I think because he knows me so well that once he saw me walk in the room, he knew that something was off. And then like, that was it. Like, we already knew right then and there, and I showed him the test, and the rest is history, and here we are, almost 6 months pregnant. So on to the next question, which is, how did y'all meet? Give a sister some good hope. So he says otherwise, I'm gonna continue saying otherwise as well. So how we met was through social media, which is, I feel like, the way that everyone finds everybody now. But he thinks because I DM'd him was me sliding in his DMs, me shooting my shot or whatever. But I wasn't like, I don't know. I knew I was trying to get his attention because I was liking his tweets. So don't get me wrong, I will admit that. But whatever, he thinks because I DM'd him asking him about his necklace is me going to him first, me doing all these things. I want you guys to keep this in mind. He continuously kept DMing me, and I was kind of like a little bland towards him. He asked me out on a date. I ended up saying yes. I lived in Miami at the point in time, so he would have to drive all the way to Miami from where he lived, which is almost an hour drive. And the day of our date, I'm supposed to be getting ready for our date, but I end up, dubbing him and going to the club with my best friend. So I obviously never went on the date with him. And then later on, he still, asks me on another date. He's trying again. He wasn't too obsessive or pushive, whatever. He wasn't pushing too much for it. He didn't know this, that I was moving to New York in 2 weeks. I didn't want to play with his heart. I didn't want to be that girl. Obviously, I ended up telling him, hey, I don't want to waste your time. I do feel bad, because he was telling me like, hey, I want to get to know you. I want to take you out on a date. I want to see where this can go. And I was like, honestly, I'm moving to New York. There's not really a point. I'm sorry, but many blessings. He wished the same for me. Such a sweet guy for, saying what he said versus being like, well, bitch, you could have been told me type thing, but whatever. Fast forward to a month later of me living in New York, he would just say little things here and there, like that would kind of catch my attention, but then at the same time, I'm like, I live in a whole different state. This doesn't even matter, just whatever. And my roommate at the time, she would come home late from work, so I would just be there by myself, really bored. So then I started entertaining him back in a sense. I was like, okay, he's cute. Let's see where this can go. Even though I live in a different state, like this is not gonna get anywhere. Little did I know I was gonna be buying a plane ticket back to Florida to go hang out for a couple of days to see him. But then the rest of the time, of course, I'd be with my family, my friends, because obviously, I still wanna go see them. But mind you, I had never met this kid. I have never seen his face. He could be a serial killer. He could be someone fake on Instagram acting like that's really Levon when it's really not Levon. So I was taking a risk. He was offering to pick me up from the airport. Mind you, I had never met him. And I was like, yeah, just pick me up from the airport. It's fine. He's like, yeah, like I'll take you to go get breakfast. We'll do this, that, and the fourth. And I'm like, fuck am I doing with my life right now? Oh, this guy, I feel like he's doing so much and he doesn't even know me. Like, you really must want me. Once my flight landed, he was right there to pick me up, and that's how we met. So the next question I got asked was, does your boyfriend having another baby bother you, and how do you deal with the situation? If you don't know, my boyfriend does have another child with someone else. Now, to answer your question specifically regarding the fact of does it bother me? No, it does not bother me, because if it did, I wouldn't be with him to begin with. I wouldn't have even, gone anywhere, taken a flight to Florida to come see him, moved back to Florida to come be with him. if it bothered me. I feel like if it did bother me, then I basically wouldn't be accepting his past and what is now present, obviously, or accepting his son, which is not the case whatsoever. I 100% accept his son. I 100% love his son. I 100%. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. And in regards to your second question, asking how do I deal with the situation, I don't want to say that I deal with the situation because that sounds very negative, and that's not the way that I look at it, nor I guess should anybody else, because it's a choice. I don't deal with it. I do it because I want to do it, because I want to be with my boyfriend and accept everything that does come with him. I love my boyfriend. I'm so in love with that man that's nothing like to me. At the end of the day, again, it comes with him. I accept him, and if I accept him, I have to accept everything that has happened in the past, or everything again that is now brought into the future that made him who he is not something that I deal with. It's something that I want to be a part of. That's what I want to do, boo. The next question is weird cravings / food combos. I haven't necessarily had weird food combos, if that makes sense. I more so had weird cravings, I guess you can say. My biggest craving, and anyone that has been around me knows this, is limes. I literally eat a lime like it's an orange. I put lime on every meal, and sometimes I'll just eat the lime just to eat the lime. I also know that lime isn't the best for your teeth, so don't come for me. The other thing that I've definitely been craving but I can't eat, which is so frustrating, is hot Cheetos. I mean, yes, I can eat them, but it messes up my stomach so bad that I just don't eat them. But hot Cheetos, oh my God, has been the biggest craving. But again, the 2 times that I've eaten it, because I was craving it so bad, I have messed up my stomach, girl. So I'm good off of it. I can wait. And then of course I have little cravings here and there, like, you know, the chocolate. I always want sushi, but I've always wanted sushi before I was even pregnant, so that's like nothing new. But sushi, ice cream, like my little random sugar cravings. Bologna was one of them, which was really weird. I eat tomatoes with salt. I don't know if that's the thing that somebody does, but like I'll just literally like get the tomato, put salt in it, and just eat it. Pregnancy is something different, let me tell you. The next question is, what is our signs? And my sign is a Libra, and my boyfriend's sign is a Scorpio. The next question is, do you pee yourself? I don't know why people think that. Maybe when I get in like the 3rd trimester, maybe. I mean, I never really hold my pee, so I never felt like I was gonna pee on myself. I guess you could say the only thing that I have noticed though is when I need to pee and I'm about to get up to pee, and then my boyfriend starts tickling me, and then I feel like I'm gonna pee on myself, but I never do. And I never like laughed to the point where I peed on myself either, so no, I haven't peed on myself, but I hope I don't. The next question is, do you have bad morning sickness? Obviously, every human body is different, but for me in specific, my morning sickness started from when I was 5 weeks pregnant up until 13 weeks pregnant. And the thing was, it was not morning sickness, it was all day sickness, and it was the worst thing. It literally got to the point where I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is so much on my body. Like, all I'm eating is crackers and water, and wanting to throw that up. I'm eating bread and water, like the most bland things, because everything that had a smell to it made me want to throw up. I couldn't eat corn, I couldn't eat strawberries, I couldn't eat chicken. How do you not eat chicken? I love chicken. I love me some chicken. So the fact that I could not eat chicken, it was just so frustrating, because I know that I like those things, but my body was just not having it. First trimester really got to me, I'm not gonna lie. The next question that I got asked was, are you excited for the baby? And of course, girl, that's a silly question. I'm doing all these things. If I wasn't excited for my son, I am of course beyond excited to meet my little one. And lastly, for the few of my friends that said that they're all just so excited to meet him, girl, trust me, I am too. We all can't wait to meet the little one. I hope that I answered all of your guys' questions and in depth enough for you to understand, of course, as well too. And before I close out today's video, guys, I just want to thank you guys for sending my family so many blessings, you know, congratulating us and sending us so much love. We really appreciate it, and I'm super thankful for all of the love that I have been receiving. But anyways, guys, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys have a blessed and amazing day. Of course, stay safe, wear your mask, do whatever you gotta do. Bye, guys.